I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with a 3-minute cattle market update for Friday, May the 12th, where cattle people are looking for a ripcord to pull here and maybe put out a parachute to have a soft landing here after all this volatility. And we started out the week a whole lot more positive than what most everybody thought, especially me, thought it was going to be, with a big rise in the markets on Monday, and then a fat cattle market the middle of the week that was quite a bit lower but not horrible. And then your feeder cattle prices on a cash basis have just been all over the place, but mid to late week here are sure showing some stiff losses, and just like I thought we'd see all week long. But the whole down market, and I'm not sure if we're in wreck mode yet, but it's looking that way. But you look at the board here, mid to late week, live cattle futures August contract. Wednesday was down a quarter. Thursday down 72 cents to end the day on Thursday at 119.67. That's for August. June spot market at 123.92. Still holding that $14 basis there from what the cash market was in the Southern Plains anyway. Feeder cattle futures August, Wednesday down 3.22. Thursday down $1.60 to end the day on Thursday at 147.32. That's for August feeders. Your May spot feeders contracts at 142.37. Fat cattle trade had a little bit of trade on Thursday. Some in Nebraska at 137. A few in Colorado at 136. That's lower than the 138 we had in the Southern Plains on Wednesday, and you wonder why in the world that would be that, even though we continue to see losses in the board and just a lot of friction coming out of this market. But we only had light trade on Wednesday, even though we established a live market at 138 in the Southern Plains, Texas and Kansas established that very well. But through Wednesday, only 36,900 head had sold in the 5-area feeding region. That compares to like 114,000 the same time a week ago. So even though established that market, not a lot of trade. So these packers ought to still need some more cattle, even though they're pulling contracts and doing everything they can to try to keep from to seeming desperate for cattle, even though we know that they are. We wondered why they're selling those even at light numbers lower, because on Wednesday in the Northern Plains in Nebraska, we had a lot more sales than we did on Thursday on a dress basis at 224, which is $6 lower, but that comes back to $1.40 or better live. Really more like $1.41 or $2 if you have some decent yielding cattle there. But selling those cattle all the way down there at 137 and 136, and you can see why they didn't sell very many of them. Box beef cutout values continue to soar. They're not moving a lot of product, but these packers, not only do they know how to buy cattle, they know how to sell meat, and they know how to pressure their customers into having to pay more whenever they're not liking their margins. But they've got that choice cutout value near $250, and there's a lot of times where they're paying that much for dressed cattle and they only paid $224 this week. But your slaughter has been decent all week so far through Thursday. There 461,000, down 9,000, or actually 9,000 larger than last week and 13,000 more than the same week a year ago. You look at your feeder cattle markets, your real-time index on Beef Market Central late Thursday is at 142.43. That's just 6 cents from the spot May feeder market. So that's a pretty good index right there, where your latest CME index more than $3 away at over 145 there. But that 142.43 real-time index there late Thursday was down $1.64 from the previous day, but still up $1.45 from last week, because you had all those sales there early in the week. OKC West there in El Reno, Oklahoma, on Wednesday had feeder steers selling $3 to $6 lower. That's after we started out on Monday with the city selling cattle that much higher. but it's sure lower now here middle part of the week. Your heifers were $4 to $8 lower, but had a big run at El Reno there. 19,500 head of calves and yearlings put together on that Wednesday sale. It's just unbelievable. It hadn't been that many years ago, probably since I was in college over 20 years ago, that we were thinking that your regular sale barns, your on-site sale barns, were just going to be a thing of the past, and the only thing they were going to be around for was just selling odds from some video sales or direct trades and things like that. But these sale barns, on-site sale barns, I mean cattle in the ring in front of bidder sale barns, are as strong as they've been for years and years and years. Nearly 20,000 head of feeder cattle. Here we are in May, and we're not even in the time of the year where we have our biggest runs of cattle. I mean, we're having our big spring run here of cattle off grazed out wheat, but still there's times of the year where you have a lot more cattle. You look at Dodge City, Kansas, 6,500 head on Wednesday. Feeder steers there $8 to $13 lower. Maybe the wreck is on. Feeder heifers there in Dodge City, $3 to $8 lower. You look here on Thursday, some markets you can only find this early. Thursday late, Beef Market Central there. Pratt, Kansas had 7,000 head on Thursday. Look at their feeder steer quotes there. $6 to $9 lower on the heavier feeder weights. Look up north there in Farmers and Ranchers in Salina, Kansas. About 3,000 head there, looking $6 to $8 lower. That's your 3 minutes. We'll talk to you next week.